So my history Jiro is kind of a strange one. I played that character at the end of 2018 and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this guy out. I really like the combination that he has, as do most people, right? I was like, the stat spread, the stat spread is what it is, and the SIGs are what they are. They're nothing special. But I feel like Sword and Scythe is a good combination. So I started playing him, and then the first tournament of the year came around. I was really determined to make Jiro my character. And I think, to be honest, I did do that. I did make Jiro the character that I was known for, at least for a time. I mean, the first tournament of the year was really the only time that I showcased him, and I think the only time I got top 8 with Jiro at that, or I think the only top 8 Jiro has gotten. And it was strange because I beat Sandstorm at that tournament, and Jiro was super, super overlooked at the time. And it was because, like, there's just better options. And I still feel like that's the case. People still feel like there are better options. And you know what? They're not wrong at all. Jiro, though, is entering this weird cycle where no one's played him for such a long time. And he's one of the few characters that actually has, like, a dex change that matters. Like, on Scythe, you can hit Sernair Ser true, right? If you get the proper, like, spacing for it, I guess, and like you catch it right. Which is really good. Like, the fact that you can get that 3-piece true on Scythe, like, that's such a super common thing to hit on Scythe. So having that true is, like, very, very, very big. Also, the weapon combination, super important as well. I can't see, though, Sword or Scythe getting a buff. I mean, I think Sword and Scythe are in pretty good spots. Although, like, what could you do even to Scythe to not make it, like, super broken as far as a buff goes? And then the SIGs, yes, they did buff Jiro's SIGs, but they're still not Jiro. Like, when I saw that they buffed the SIGs initially, it was kind of weird, because when I saw them, I was like, oh, they just gave them a bunch of force. They didn't make it, like, less recover time on side SIG, or they didn't, like, buff end SIG as far as, like, the hitboxing goes, and, like, recover time as well. Like, that's what I picture when I think of Jiro. Like, he has such a crazy cool design, and then they do these weird SIG buffs, where now D-SIG's killing in, like, orange, and side SIG also can kill in, like, orange. I mean, it just feels like it's not him. And I wouldn't be surprised that with the fact that this character has not been played that much, if at all, in tournament, or just, I don't even know how much you guys are playing it in, like, lower ranks and just in casuals. But Jiro's a character I would not be surprised to see get a buff. And I honestly think one is coming, because BMG has this track record of sometimes just buffing characters that tend to, even sometimes, like, ones that are performing well, they'll still end up giving them these buffs. But obviously the competitive scene is only so much. But it's like a character like Jiro who hasn't had that time of day. It would not be surprising at all to all of a sudden see, like, his SIGs just get a lot less recover time or something. At that point, it comes into question then, is that too much? Should that have been the buff? Personally, I think yes, that should have been the buff a while ago. And then Jiro would have made sense. Like, the lower force and, like, super fast SIGs, that's definitely more fitting, as I said. But I feel like then he actually might be in a spot where he could possibly be looked at as one of, like, the stronger sword characters, just from the fact, like, if they do, like, do what I said and change recovery times, make maybe the SIGs not all come out, like the full animation for side SIG, or like the full animation for end SIG, or maybe, like, buff the pickup range of it. But it'll be really interesting. I don't know, like, obviously this is all my speculation, but I just have a really strong feeling about it. There are, like, 2 more balance passes, I believe, before BCX. So I'm really hoping, because I love this character a lot. I think out of all the characters, this is the one for me. And it really sucks to see, like, that I feel like he's not in a super, super good spot. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to want to play what you want. And I have a feeling, though, that these next 2 balance passes, they can always surprise. Maybe there will be no Jiro touches. Maybe literally everything I said will happen. It could be one or the other. It could be in between. I have no clue. But what do you guys think? I honestly think Jiro is a character lined up. Do you guys think he is at all? Like, do you see him much when you play? If you do play ranked, or maybe if you just, like, queue free-for-all even, like, experimental. Just any game mode. Like, how often are you seeing Jiro? I feel like there are several characters that are like Jiro. I mean, probably the next one, and I know someone will say it, so I'll just say it now. Dusk is a big one that probably doesn't get the love he deserves to begin with. I think Dusk is just flat out better, though, than Jiro. I don't even know if that's, like, a controversial thing to say or, like, a hot take, but yeah, Dusk honestly is not that bad. Like, Orb is a weapon that is pretty strong. It's great for getting a lot of damage off. Spear also is in a very, very strong spot. And the signature kit, okay, yeah, we all know that, like, Spear Desig on Dusk, for example, is bad. But it's like, the rest of it, it makes sense. Like, Dusk has a signature kit that kind of makes sense for him. High dex, super fast. Like, why don't they do something similar to Jiro? That's just what I don't know. That's just what I think. Like, I think Dusk and Jiro are very similar in how their signatures should be. Oh yeah, also something else I wanted to talk about, because I don't know how much you guys watched or if you maybe just peeked in and like left the stream running for viewership rewards, but this weekend was the 2v2 portion of Steel Series. 1v1s is next weekend, and me and my teammate Cody Travis, if you don't know who Cody is, he's recently started doing YouTube, and he's been streaming a lot as well, so but he's been killing it this year in 1s and 2s. And yeah, we ended up winning the tournament. We won through winner's side. We didn't have to like get a bracket reset or anything. We beat Simba Santi to win the tournament. We beat them 3-1. I think we lost the first game. We ended up, I'm pretty sure, closing it out there, because I know the score was 3-1. I just can't remember what game we ended up losing. But yeah, we did a lot of practice and we tried to fix our mistakes that we made in low tier city, and it definitely looked good. I mean, the final game, like, Cody ended up playing a lot better, I think, than he did, and I definitely believe he'd share that sentiment that he was just playing like crazy in Grands. I mean, the final game, the guy did 900 damage, and yeah, it was wild. Like, I made a tweet. I was like, dang, I get 6 KOs and like 700 plus damage on Hattori game 3, so we're up 2-1. You know, one more game left. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I can like put the team on my back need be if Cody ends up getting swarmed by double sword or something. And then what does this guy go and do? He drops 900 damage. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, at what point are they just walking into him and I'm just like, you know, breathing? Like are they even fighting me? Like, I went back and watched it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he just hit every combo that he possibly could get. And maybe there's a couple factors for it. Obviously there are. Like, they weren't playing their best. Like, low tier city, Simba Santi were different animals. It was kind of insane how good they were playing. And it was a matter of time before they won a tournament. But I'm glad to see me and Cody get another win in. And hopefully no slowdown this time. I mean, we haven't dropped below second place. So that's, like, really, really good. But obviously, you know, first place is always what we want and always what we aim for. And this time we got it. So that's really, really nice. Steel Series 1s, though, is coming up. And maybe I made this video partially to just help like sort my thoughts out better on who I want to play, because part of me is really starting to feel like I should play Jiro just because I know I have fun on this character. It just comes into the question, it's like, I know there isn't going to be a buff now, so is it worth it? We'll have to see though. I have a ton of fun with Jiro, but it's a question of, is all that fun worth playing like a character that is obviously not in the best spot right now? Jiro maybe at some point in the near future, like I said, I think has that potential to be like in a dummy good spot, just absolutely like insane if they do the right changes, I think, to his signature kit, and especially if they were to make decks like change and like matter. And I'm not sure how they can really do that, but yeah, and that's definitely a change that's not going to happen this year. That's more like down the road type of thing. But the sooner I feel comfortable like about playing Jiro, definitely the sooner I'm going to be pulling him out in tournaments again. Like, hopefully latest by next year, like at the beginning, I'll be playing Jiro. But if not then it might even be earlier. It might be like, I might have this character as my pick for like BCX or even possibly Steel Series, but we'll see. Like right now, my pick for Steel Series 1v1s is Sidra. And I mean, Sidra, you guys know how that character is. Like, I think Sidra right now is just insane. Oh, did we get a little gimp? I messed it up. And he didn't save himself. Okay. But yeah, like instead of having to go through all the effort with Scythe, instead I could play Cannon. And yeah, I don't think Cannon's neutral is that great. I think playing on stage with Cannon is very, very strange. It's not like the best, personally, I would say. But the punish game has to be like the best in the game, or at least the easiest to perform, because off one dodge, there's a chance you could possibly lead into a kill. At the very least, you're gonna get like some crazy like 5-hit string. So that's what I'm having to like kind of decide. Yes, I have Sidra, but also if I don't really enjoy her as much as I do like Jiro, is there a point in playing the character? Is all that like easiness with canon, like the meta-ness of canon, worth it? Maybe that's a poor way to put it, but I don't know. We'll see. I think right now, yes, it is worth it, because I do have a bit of fun with canon, and I do enjoy playing Sidra, but if that ever dies down, I feel like I'll have to make that call of if it's worth continuing playing the character. So let's see. Finish this guy off. I mean, we can't really do anything special. I'll just hit him with the D-Light Dare recovery. Maybe on sword, but I lost my sword. Maybe... Oh, okay. I guess I don't get a double D-Light. I was going to do a double D-Light to close it, but whatever. Oh my gosh. This gets so annoying at the end of it. Just getting poked away. And it's like, come on. At what point do you just call it quits? Never, I suppose. That is the right answer. Again, though, let me know what you think. I do believe that Jiro is going to get some sort of buff very, very soon. And hopefully it's in one of the ways I described at the beginning with the SIGs. I don't know, though. And I'm curious to see if you guys share this sentiment or if you think it's even going to happen. And if you even see this character played at all. Because personally, I never do. Other than that, though, I appreciate it as always, guys. So see you in the next one. Peace.